Hello developers, welcome to Mining Devs. Today we are going to talk about Bitcoin, the hottest technology that there is. You must have heard about it from the news, from the prices going up and down, right? And from your friends, from your family, that something like this exists, or some other cryptocurrency for that matter, right? What exactly is the technology behind it? This is the question of a lot of people that are there, right? And why are the prices so much? What is so valuable in Bitcoin? So what we'll do today is we'll try to go and read about the Bitcoin white paper. We'll try to explain Bitcoin white paper as much as possible and in layman language, so that you as a newcomer can get onboarded and understand what Bitcoin actually is. Now, what is Bitcoin white paper? Bitcoin white paper is just an information document that was launched by Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008. That white paper contains information on the plan of action of Bitcoin. It suggests each and everything that Bitcoin is built upon. It suggests problems as well as solutions, right? So we'll go towards the introduction part, we'll go towards the network part, we'll go towards the transactions part, and as well as we'll go towards the wallets part, the keys, and all the basic stuff that we need to cover in this white paper series. So stay tuned and let's get started. In the previous video, we tried to understand what a transaction on a Bitcoin server will look like, right? In this video, we'll try to accomplish to get the knowledge of what a timestamp server is, right? And what exactly is the term timestamp server, as well as we'll try to understand what is proof of work, right? So for that, let's have a look at what Satoshi has proposed that a timestamp server is. The solution we propose begins with a timestamp server. A timestamp server works by taking a hash of blocks of items to be timestamped and widely publishing the hash, right? What we'll try to do is we'll try to cater to this with a very unique example, right? Something like this is already available open source. This has been created by Anders Brownsworth. Anybody can go there and have a look at it. This is specifically for the purpose of a demo of a blockchain, right? So what exactly is a timestamp server, right? But that Satoshi has mentioned, right? What you can say is the timestamp server or the hashes system, it works like this. Whenever in a blockchain, what is happening is like how a blockchain is formed. Let me shed some light on it. What happens is that the hash of the previous block is being fed to the hash of the next block to calculate the hash of the next block, right? So this is how a previous block is actually linked with the next block, right? So what will happen if I change the hash of this particular block, right? If I enter something here, you see that the hash changes. Now, why is it so? Because I'm changing the values of this block. Hash is actually generated by using the values of the block. Like if I even change the block height, right? Maybe, right? So you can see the hash changes again. If I change the nonce, it will change again, right? So now this nonce is actually of very importance to miners, right? We'll come back to it when we'll discuss proof of work in detail. Right now, what I'll try to do is I'll try to give you a brief idea about what a timestamp server is, right? So a timestamp server, what it means is it's just that the hash of this particular block is used as a previous hash value in this particular block, right? In the next block, and this is how a chain is linked, right? A chain is being formed. So what will happen if I mine this block, right? Some work is being done and the block will be mined, right? And so a block is mined, right? And if you see, after we have mined this block, you can see there are some zeros appended to it, right? And then let's have some data here, right, as well. And we can mine this block. Before that, just have a look at the previous value. You'll see that it is very, very similar to the hash of this particular block now linked to this block. And this is how a blockchain is formed. And this is what is the concept of timestamp server that Satoshi has mentioned, right? So let's have a look at it. Each timestamp includes the previous timestamp in its hash, forming a chain with each additional timestamp, reinforcing the ones before it. So this is what timestamp server is, right? And then let's continue with proof of work, right? Proof of work. So Now this is a bit complicated. Let me try and explain it to you using this example here, right? Proof of work in itself, what it states is that what we need is the the proof that a particular work has been done, right? So what is the work here? The work here is adding the transactions in the block, and adding a block to the chain is work, right? So for that we need computation power, right? So proof of work totally depends on it, right? The computational power. And as well as, when we talk about mining, mining is something that is synonym to proof of work, right? So miners that do this, they have their nodes running, right? And in that nodes, what they do is they try and guess this node. So how does that happen? Now supposedly there is a data in this block, right? So supposedly there is data in this block, right? So what miners have to do is, miners have to no, and as well as when we try and mine it, what will happen is there will be, what we see is that there will be some digits here, right? So if we mine it, and you will see that there will be some zeros appended to it. So in Bitcoin, but this zero signifies its difficulty, right? So if there are a lot of zeros, it will be that the block will be that much difficult to get mined. Yeah, so you can see that after it has been mined, some zeros are appended here, right? So what miners are to do is they have to guess the nonce value of this. So if you see, if I keep changing on the nonce, uh, the value will keep on changing, right? And if I can enter the correct value, and which generates the correct hash, now this particular nonce is what miners have to guess when it comes to mining the block in the chain. So what they do is they validate the transactions, right? They verify the transactions that are there, and then that particular block, whosoever guesses the nonce first gets to mine the block, right? So this is something around, what you can say is, whosoever is able to finish it first will be able to mine it, as well as reap the reward. So when you mine, so there is fees that is to be distributed amongst miners, right? As well as there are new bitcoins that are generated that will be available to miners, right? After the circulation supply will reach 21 million, after that, there will be only fees for the miners that would be available as for mining the block. So now what people have done is, they have brought ASICs, right, to mine it, because the mining has become really difficult. It needs a lot of computing power. It needs lot of electricity. So what Satoshi has planned was, like, for miners to incentivize, and when the difficulty will increase, I'd say, similarly, the block reward will be in BTC, right? So the BTC will definitely have a value that would be worth mining, right? As well as, the transaction fees that will be there on the chain will also be spread across miners. So this is how miners are incentivized to run a node and then mine the transactions into the block. Let's have a quick read as to what Satoshi has to offer here, right? I hope that a lot of you have understood what mining is, and if you need some more insights onto it, please do message us in the comment box, and we'll try and get back to you and clarify your queries. To modify a past block, an attacker would have to redo the proof of work of the blocks and all the blocks after it, and then catch up with this and surpass the work of the honest nodes, right? So what will happen if you are to attack this chain? So this is what has been mentioned here, along with the concepts of proof of work, right? So what an attacker will have to do is, he'll have to, what an attacker will have to do, supposedly you have this particular block mined and this particular block mined, right? And this is the chain that exists. So what an attacker will have to do, if they have to change the data in this particular block, is, you know they'll have to change it, right? Change the data in this particular block, and then they have to remine this block as well as this block and the chain ahead of it, so that the chain is synced, and there is no fault evidence that the chain is not mined, and it should not be discarded. So this is what an attacker will have to do when it comes to changing the transactions in the chain. So this in fact is very difficult, because when the blocks are mined, and after, it already takes a lot of computing power to mine a block now, right? And to go back, change the transactions, and then keep mining the block, you need a lot of computing power, and that that computing power has a 51 percentage. uh, like if total nodes combined, like if there are thousand of nodes, right, you'll need 510 nodes for that. Like 501 will do the trick, sorry, 5001 will do the trick. Right, if you have 10,000 nodes that are available, and if you have 1,000 nodes available, 501, so more than 51% power, more than 50% power will do the trick. You'll have to have more than that, so that you can achieve an attack on the chain, so which is not really possible at the moment. As well as Satoshi says, to compensate for increasing hardware speeds and varying interest in running nodes over time, the proof of work difficulty is determined by moving average targeting and average number of blocks per hour, right? So to make sure that the hardware speed and the interest of the miners stays upfront. So what is being done is that the block difficulty, mining a block, the difficulty to mine a block is readjusted again and again and again. So as I already told you guys, like if the number of zeros when you mined a block is more, the difficulty of the block is more. So that signifies that the difficulty also keeps on changing as to keep the block duration under a specific period of time. So that is all about that we'll discuss right now about mining. In the next video, what we'll try to take care of is about what we'll talk about is network. We'll talk about nodes, like what exactly is in store for miners, or what exactly are nodes, and how nodes came into picture, right? So this is what we'll take up in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. Please do comment, please do leave your valuable comments in the comment section, and if you have any doubts, please comment and we'll get back to you as soon as possible, and we'll try to clarify it. And as well as if you need some more videos on some different topics that you want to understand, please leave us a comment and we'll try and make all those videos so that you as a newcomer can understand better. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.